This is a record of sailing a 25-foot sailboat from Hachinohe in northern East Japan, 200 nautical miles down to Sendai on the east coast of Japan. Started off with the two of us, but the crew got really sick and got off after the first day. So I carried on and finished the last 3 days solo, uh, mainly motoring all the time actually. We start the trip in Hachinohe in Aomori, northern Japan.
だってあれこのローリーだって動いちゃってほら。いやまだほら来てる。動いちゃった。おい気をつけてよこれ。いやおい。ちょっと待てよこれ。上に上がらなきゃいけない。おっと待ってよこれ。どうすんだ。これから倒れなきゃいけないな。
Our first stop was Miyako City, where James got off. At this stage I'm travelling alone, and the next stop is Orfanato. The next stop along the way was Onagawa in Miyagi. After Onagawa, we finally arrived in the home port of Shiogama. "3:30, just starting to get light. Venus is still up there. Time to go. The trusty crew is... Oh, where's your coffee? We're not ready to go. Okay, let's get organised and get out of here. There's the exit lights of Hachinohe. Exactly 4 o'clock in the morning when we cast off. This is Miyako Port where we pulled in for the night. This was we pulled up next to the industrial wharf about 5 o'clock in the morning. James, I hoisted him onto the wharf. He didn't have enough energy to get on up there by himself, and then gave him a sleeping bag and a pillow, and he just collapsed on the wharf. This is the little yacht pleasure boat harbour at Miyako. You can see the square windows on the side of that building. That's the height that the tsunami came up. There's a blue line that shows you the height there. Wiped this place right out. All rebuilt now, looks very nice. Standing on top of the tsunami wall at Miyako, this is all rebuilt after the tsunami. There's Jonathan over there. She and I are off tomorrow morning at 3 o'clock. Leaving Miyako Harbour. From this stage, James has left the boat and I'm on my own. Still on my way into Orfanato Harbour, and I just thought I'd give you a little quick shot of what it looks like. There's the coast there, just about 500 metres away, or 1,000 metres away, and I don't know if you can see it, but floating in the water are all these little yellow, whoa, thingies, because over there is an unmarked fish farm seaweed area. I've got the engine off and the boat's just drifting now, but whoa, the southern swells are coming through. Fog, rain, unfamiliar harbour, and fishing nets. See you later. In front of us, just above the horizon, not a star, that's the lead light to bring you into the port. There it is there. This is 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'd hate to be doing this at night. Okay, well that's enough of the video here. Things are getting serious. I was met in Ofanato Harbour by Ito-san, who pointed out this little boat. This is one of the only survivors of the pleasure crafts, and it was found on the roof of a 3-story building. It was picked up and put back in the water with basically no damage at all. Not so much for the other boats. Ito-san drove me to an onsen, and I had a wonderful bath there, so that was fantastic. Thank you very much, Ito-san. A really neat thing is from the hot springs outside Bath, you can see the gate where I came in. I'm standing here in the nude at Ofanato Onsen. This is in the hotel. There's a bath right here, but I can't. There's the corner of the bath. Okay, I'm going to get in and relax. Leaving Orfanato, left about 5 o'clock in the morning, didn't worry about an early start. One of those white buildings there is the hotel that I had the bath in, and there's the port in there. Lovely little port. We moored in at a snug little fishing port in Onigawa, really nice little mooring spot. This is the shrine at Onigawa, where I am now. All gone. Broken stone lanterns. That's the old stone gate. Weeds. The shrine was washed away, so they built this temporary one. This would have been a big shrine. Tsunami came right up here. All the shrine buildings would have been over there.
said. It's 5:40. All of you children should go home now to your loving families. Help your mother, help your grandmother, and tomorrow greet everyone with a smile and a warm greeting. The kid that did the announcement is from the high school. One high school does the announcement each day. One high school kid does the announcement each day. It's just part of the idea of community in Japan. I find visiting these tsunami damaged places affecting, to say the least. On the trip, Hachinohe, Miyako, Ofunato, and now Onagawa, particularly Miyako, Ofunato, Onagawa, were totally wiped out. When I pulled in here, there was a fisherman, and I asked him if it was okay to moor. And he said, yeah, come on inside. There are clamfish fishermen. And I went inside and there were 4 of them in there. He said, he introduced them, and he said, there used to be 70 of us. Now there's 7. And one guy said, yeah, but that means we can make more money. And the other guy turned around and says, yeah, we're rich, aren't we? We're heading out there tomorrow morning at 4 o'clock. There's a group of islands, and there's one island called Kinkasan. That'll be real fun. The moon's out. I'll take you for a tour. During sailing, I have a sheepskin seat cover that I sit on. I'm doing this now. I haven't cleaned up, but doing it while there's still a bit of light. We got a chart table there. One seat there. Another seat over there. Icebox, water, all gear up forward. There's 2 berths. Sink there. Stove there. I sleep in that little corner there under the stairs. Fuji-san, if you recognise the sleeping bag, thank you very much. It's getting good use. And that's it. That's inside the little home. Time to cook dinner. Tonight's dinner will be chicken paradise curry, rice, lemon chicken which I'll chop up and put in the curry, some carrot which I'll chop up and put in the curry, some onion which I'll chop up and put in the curry, some cabbage which I'll chop up and put in the curry, and some tomato which I'll chop up and put in the curry. Now all of this is boiled in one pot, and what I have left over I will make jaffles out of with the bread that's in the box in the bottom there. Got some burrito bananas tomorrow. Probably have 2 jaffles, and the jaffles will be breakfast tomorrow morning or lunch tomorrow. Breakfast sometimes I usually have, where is it? Breakfast is usually Where's breakfast? Oh, breakfast is usually... Yeah, this works really well. Breakfast is usually muesli. I have it with milk. I forgot to buy milk, so I'm going to have muesli with water, which is really, really boring. But what I might do tomorrow is I might make some coffee and mix the, put the muesli in a bowl and then pour coffee in and have muesli with coffee. So the pot's boiling now. Rice first, then all the vegetables, and then away we go. That's where we're up to. The rubbish is in there, the leftovers there, and everything's chopped up there, ready to go into the saucepan to be fried. The water that this is boiled in will go into the hot pot there for my coffee or tea tomorrow. That will come out, and then I'll empty the water, and then we'll cook the veggies. The veggies getting fried up. I hope you'll notice the essential kitchen tools there for lifting out the hot rice and the hot curry. Here we go. The veggies with the curry pack put in. Can you smell that? It smells great. It's actually keema curry. Dinner is served. Tonight we'll be eating outside on the deck in Onagawa. Sun's up. Left Onagawa at 4:45. Been out for an hour now. Been out for 30 minutes now. Got my breakfast. I got dried persimmons, dried figs, Japanese figs, and a cup of coffee. And scenic coast in Onagawa Bay. And just in there is the Onagawa Nuclear Power Station. For those who've never seen one, that's what they look like. That one has been mothballed since the earthquake. This whole area moved, I can't remember, moved south 5 meters and sunk 1.4, 1.2 meters, and didn't make any difference to the nuclear power station structure at all. This has just been switched off because of paranoia. They could switch it back on and make nice, clean energy tomorrow, and because of paranoia, it's still switched off. Waste of money. Switch it on. The peaked mountain, that's Kinkasan, just off the point coming around now. Kinkasan means Silver Island. It was an ancient monastery. There's a big temple on it now. It's a tourist attraction, but it's a beautiful place.
I know it's really difficult to see the scale here, but if you can see sea level, and then you can see greyish rocks, and then you can see yellowish rocks, and then just above them is the tree line. And if you look at the tree line, you'll see lots and lots and lots of white dead trees. That's the height that tsunami came up here. One of the highest recorded areas. I don't know, that's 60 meters or something like that, 10-story building. And over there's the Kinkasan Island. We're going between the two islands. This is quite exciting and quite good fun. Have a double reef main up to keep it under control. At this stage the roller furling was out of action. Basically the sail's up there just to try and give us a bit of stability. Water coming in, the saucepan's full of water. Sea started to get quite rough and confused here as we came out between the islands.
Let's just say the weather turned bad. I'm in the cockpit now, I'm in the cabin now. Confused sea, whoa, would be one word for it. The waves are coming from every direction. We've still got about 2 hours to go. This is the home stretch, but whoa, waves. Tough little boat. I'm impressed with this boat actually.
I'll just take a minute to tell you how bad got. On this weather snap, you'll see at 12 o'clock, down the bottom, 45 knots. Coming from the west, and that was directly I was going. I was going directly into 45 knot winds with my little motor, and I was making 0.7 knots forward. And the next snap will show you what happens when you hit the wind like this. Well, the first thing that happens is you slow right down. What was supposed to take me 2 or 3 hours to get across the bay ended up being 8 hours of really hard work. The middle of this track, you can see the zigzag. That's when the wind hit really bad, and we were in a little bit of trouble there. If you go straight into the waves and the wind, you end up really pounding. So you try and go off to the left or the right to take the waves at an angle, but with that much wind, with the little boat and the little engine, you just get blown backwards. So you can see the zigzag here of trying to keep a course going backwards and trying to move forward again. The course goes from the top of the screen down to the bottom of the screen. And I have to tell you, I was at this stage just hoping the engine wouldn't stop, but she putted through, and eventually we got through it and motored into the shelter of Shiogama Bay. As I pulled into Shiogama Bay, the sun set behind 3 mountains that I have climbed and I'm really familiar with. Izumi Guthlake. Those mountains under the sunset there are about 45 minutes from my house, and I almost cried at this stage. I was so happy to pull in here. Learned a lot, good experience, but wouldn't do that trip again. I'll do parts of it again, but not the whole lot.
Well, sit here at the computer editing at all this, and it seems like a dream. Learned a lot. Pulled into my first unfamiliar port at night time. Pulled into my first port during the fog. Had really rough weather. Had to look after myself to a certain extent, but yeah, trip of a lifetime. I'll be going back up there and visiting those places slowly, and spending more time, and great little boat. All the best.